The devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God didn't tell me nothing. Right there's on my death certificate. I gave you power, 21 questions like who.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess you back on my block. Rather you need Bucktown. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York with a pitchfork.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy, imagine me do boy, you could never do what I do boy, still ducking that I did boy, in Paris for a hit boy, these ain't the same type of hits boy, can get boy, you don't take these type of...
The Sam Darnold era begins now.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Tonight, we'll have the final two games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the New York Jets and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, Darnold. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Sometimes it seems like a tough world out there. Many thought Sam Darnold would go #1 overall to the Browns, and he fell to #3 to the New York Jets. I think he fell to a great situation. He gets to go to New York with a rebuilding team, take over the job right then and there. And while many were expecting Broadway Baker Mayfield, instead they got sudden Sam Darnold, and I think the Jets fans are going to be very happy to have him.
Here's Darnold now on second down. So Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Back to the air, Darnold on second down. Herndon's got it complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he had never played before, American football. And now look at him, a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Stafford. And his first look is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Out to the flat for Redden. And even with that broken tackle, can't get very far. Stops short of the 30. It'll be a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. The completion to Riddick. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. Still, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. LeGarrette Blount, his first touchdown as a Detroit Lion. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Extra point good by Prater, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Jets making their way out. Last year, the impressive 3-2 start. A lot of people predicted they would go 0-16, but then after that start, they sort of collapsed. Just 2 wins after week 5. So as we look ahead to this year, Charles, what can we expect from the Jets?
Well, I would expect them to continue to play with great effort because their head coach, Todd Bowles, demands that. But Sam Darnold, their #1 draft choice, he will be the key to their season. The faster that he plays well, the better the Jets obviously are going to be. And on defense, last in the league in pass rush last year, last in the league in sacks. They'll have to do that by committee this year.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Eluding the pressure right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Julian Edelman, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Prater for the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Now let's go. Blue Lightning.
This is Bilal Powell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Here we go now.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And they will fire it again as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And he dumps it off to Blow. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Stafford. Flushed out right. Finding room to the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. To throw is Stafford. Going underneath to Blount. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He can run, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford. His 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions add on to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
Partner, they're up big. They snapped the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And he stopped immediately there. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. Even though he's a fourth-rounder, I think he might have a chance to play and prove that, hey, I could have been taken higher in that draft.
And we've seen so many times now, guys who go lower in the draft, undrafted free agents that become big-time players, Pro Bowl players. So you never...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
To throw on third down. Stafford escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to the ball.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on fourth down. Now they go for it on fourth down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can... get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together, the front and back.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Stafford finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Here's Stafford. Incomplete. Julian Edelman.
No, they don't charge the last 2 minutes.
The intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play
1,
with.
2.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Stafford now to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think,
oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
unbelievable that they even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Getting set to go here, Isaiah Crowell in the offense, trot back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Found his target, it's Anderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A first down throw, Darnold. Nunez got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Darnold. And this one is incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. And now it's second down.
Yeah.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
On 1st and 10, Darnold dumps off to Powell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
1, 2, 3.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Set! 319! 319!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Hurry up, here we go! 319!
They'll try and punch it in with Brown. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. Second and goal, and they... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. That'll be taken in the end zone. Dances by him.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action here on first down, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there.
And look at this, it's a fake. Skirts by him at the third. It's a foot race. A big play there out of the running game.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated.
What's going on? I have to defend now? Look, I just scored a touchdown.
For that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On first down, it's Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He won't get in, but they are going to have the football in a great spot. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free, creating something good for your team.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Breaking the huddle, first and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Now it's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Julian Edelman, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're able to return this one all the way up to the 45.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
A first down carry now for Crowell. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't...
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Detroit. 62 yards.
And there's another one of those incredible highlight reel catches. One-handed, deep downfield, another big completion. I know this, partner. As a defender, I don't know how you avoid watching what they do. And
he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Michael Roberts, 26 yards. And the Lions just continue to pour it on.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Now Prater to add the PAT. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead will swell by one more. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On first down, Darnold. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Prater on to add the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it down. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And New York set to take the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's a give to Crowell. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Darnold. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. And this is a blowout so far as we get. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now a handoff to Crowell. Had a nice move but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot.
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 11. After the interception, here's Stafford. He sets to fire deep. He's got him in, complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here's Stafford on the move to his left. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Stafford trying to lay one up deep. Touchdown, Detroit. Fourth touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week one. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he floated one out there incomplete.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the posts. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
Did the same. It smelled terrible.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. That'll bring up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards, and the Lions will take over. Julian Edelman gets ready to take the field again here on offense. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they personally set for themselves, do you think?
I doubt that it's different from week to week. Maybe because of game plan, they know that one guy might be featured more than the other. But all in all, these guys are looking for 100 or more yards in receiving. But the biggest thing, getting into the end zone. And how about him? He's gotten there twice in this game.
He has indeed. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the 50, it's Stafford. Forced out to his left. Going deep here for... Man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And incomplete. On the deep ball.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
All right, here we go.
Darnold on 1st down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Set. 319. 319.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And Matthews has it right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Darnold from the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. To throw is Darnold. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So here come the Lions now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit. Even though I'm not rooting for either team, That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
To throw is Stafford. And off his back foot, he'll got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions take advantage of the turnover to put up 6.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now Darnold. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never get anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's the truest about it. Had me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breakfast by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on the rest keep me up on the old I had a in my shoulder.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your... Once you're ready, go ahead and select Advanced Week. You have great browse available players to improve your team.
My diamonds, they tussling. My neck and my belly. They calling for me and they... You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. Big Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some more gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the trolls. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth and who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. About tag on. I got it in the bag now. Getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never get anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's the truest about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breakfast by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rest keep me up on the ocean, I had a in my shoulder, you got a vision.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to Dustin? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new bay alert, don't be mad.
got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me up by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a vision. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, about tag on noon. I got it in the bag, man, with all type of cash, I'm a general true. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang roll. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, that sell it. Free mind. Cash them out, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student fella. Now I got a lawyer, straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element, out my element. My the same, don't need no clout, no fame. No clout, bought the game. All brand new chain, I swerve the lane. Call the group the gang. Whip that thing, whip it, this shit give me. Ooh, yeah. Them boys fool you trying to do it, bring the don't want no, they pull up with that out. It's times 3, this how it go. Park $1 million at the we gon' make 'em eat that until we go. Eat it up. Rich straight to the top floor. More PJs than rich like water, go to Cabo. Splash. Cash in the walls, hollow. Cash. Your money too small, micro. Huncho on the call, gotta. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Ice the game, had to ice the game. So much ice, too much, had to ice the lane. Freeze the dub, had to freeze the lane. Freeze, camera phone. Turn your lights off. We been on. Came from my block and growed up, guess I'm homegrown, well known. That is my cologne. I put my wrist inside the freezer, came out froze. Ice. I put my heart inside, cause I was chose. I put my heart inside and only God knows. Yeah, the clinics for that baby wipe this nose. I wipe this nose. What's a leg with till they explode?
Guys, last time we were out here, coaching staff didn't like what we saw. You all know it wasn't good.
Here we go.
This is your last opportunity. Let's go for gold.
All right, man, let's go. Bring it in tight. All right, let's go. Championship teams have one thing in common: great practice habits. Today was a great practice, and if we do that every day... Now that's what I'm talking about, fellas. I don't know what happened between last week and this week, but today was a great practice. And this coaching staff is loving it. You guys consistently do that, and I see a lot of victory.
She did it again, imagine them about to make these bums mad again. Uh-oh. Back to them. I lead the pack, so my back's to them. Yup, the queen's back, what's happening? Rerun, about to make these rap again. Diamond chains on my ankle. Young money in the cut like a tail tip, rubber bands on my bankroll. Show my like a
big bank, tight, low buy. Big bank, tight, low buy. Type of money you gon' need to sight. The type of money you gon' need to buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low buy. Big bank, tight, low buy.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, the rest? Hey, got that check into go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Breno Javinci is white.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Flush to his right. And he dumps it off to Blount. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play. Obviously, instead he hit a safety back.
It looked like two well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And him running the football is not something the defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Now a carry for Blount. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Theo Riddick, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about it being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ziggy Ansah in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range for it, but as you said, they picked it up. On the toss, this is Blunt, able to push his way through, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it here with Blunt, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin is the... Here's Stafford, eluding the pressure right. And he'll have his man, that's Edelman. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He's able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Matthew Stafford, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They start on the ground here with Blunt. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And running with power here. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Flushed out right. Nice little juke. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to run. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sheldon Day able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On third down, Stafford going underneath the Blunt. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And Stafford's going to take it himself. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Blunt. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Two minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2 having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And Wilson has it. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Stafford now on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be third down. The Lions on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a toss play to Blunt. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
That's one of my pet peeves.
Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. He may try, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Prater for the extra point. And it's...
Bye-bye.